Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. Again, this is like the third time we had to start over, but it's all good. We here. And goddamn, it's telling us again. Well, let me check, because if that's it, then I'm just going to move that window out the way. But, yeah, you already know what this is. This is the check-in. And as I stated before, man, we do this show, man, for mental health purposes, man, because everybody needs some place where they can check in and where they can deal with things, or at least talk about those things without having issue. So I'm going to say this real quick. Don't worry about that shit we're seeing right there, because it ain't on the screen. I'm just showing you guys right now. I'm not going to touch it because it's recording right now, so I ain't going to touch it.
Good. I'm with you, big. I'm with you, big homie. Whatever it do, what it do.
Before we go any further, I also want to say a quick disclaimer, man. Nobody here is a licensed therapist or counselor.
Nope.
So when we do this, man, we're really speaking from a place of experience and a place of, openness, you know what I'm saying? Transparency, so to speak, if I could say so. And I think that it's really important for people to understand, man, we're not here to tell you exactly what to do. You do you. We are not trained psychiatrists, counselors, or therapists, but we do have different journeys in life that have led us to a lot of different places in life. Some prison, some jail, some ex-wives, some, troubles and tribulations and shit in life, heartache, pain, everything, you know what I mean? And it's important for us men to talk about these things, because I think a lot of society and everything has led us to believe that we're supposed to just stuff all of our angst and anger and everything and then just forget about it, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of work through it. But as I say that, I am your host, Heat Detector. Tonight we got IZQ in the building. He just did Shy City Cypher. And my man's Larry in the building. Latale is in the building.
Yeah,
and
I got a lot to lay down. You know what I'm saying?
And as always, we got that young buck in the building.
Yo.
Yeah, Cam is in the building. And we're going to talk about it. And today, we usually have subjects, and my co-host is usually here. He's going to be chiming in here in a little bit. But tonight, I think it's important for us to just check in, because a lot of times, like I said earlier in life, sometimes we don't have anybody to talk to, and we don't have any avenues or any people that we can say, damn, man, I really need to talk to somebody right now. And because you may feel at that very moment that you're ready to fucking snap, that you're ready to lose your shit. Like you might fuck around and, I don't know, hit your girlfriend, hit your wife or something, out of frustration, out of God knows what. Not saying that, I'm just saying it could be a multitude of things. And I feel like today was a day to just check in, because not every day is good,
Nah, absolutely.
And I think any person, and I say this on every show, show me the guy who says he wakes up every day and has a perfect day, and I'm going to show you a lying motherfucker, because he's a liar and the truth ain't in him. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing about the show. We keep this shit 100. So, it's an open forum, and that's why we make the disclaimer in the beginning, because, yeah, maybe somebody may say something here, and it may get challenged. Because, we've had people on the show that have said some ridiculous things or blame women for their actions or shit like that. And we have to challenge those things, because one of the most important things, I think, in life and being a man is being
accountable.
You
have to take accountability.
Accountability, 100%. That is the shit that I say every fucking show. Accountability is a motherfucker, because once you take accountability, other things will fall in order.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, with all that being said, man, let's just go ahead and just check it on in, man, because I'm going to tell you, man, it's been a rough week for me. It's been a rough couple of months. There's a lot of things going on. I got a lot of shit on my plate.
Preach it to the choir, big homie.
And it's tough to manage a lot of those things. And it's also tough to talk about them, because a lot of times a motherfucker may have people right in front of them that they can talk to, but it doesn't feel like it.
Sometimes it's you're secluded into an idea of thinking that it's better off sometimes to be quiet about things,
right.
Yeah. So you never heard the saying, you don't tell everybody what you're going through, because they use that against you.
Moving incognito.
Well, the thing about that is,
In a
bro,
sense.
the thing about that is that's an old line of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth of the matter is, man, first of all, accountability, that's number one. But, you are the company that you keep. So if that's the company that you keep, my G, and you want to tell them your business and you know that these are the type of people that are going to do those things, maybe you're in the wrong fucking crowd of people. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like I said, just, there's some things will get challenged, being said on here, and because I feel it's important for us to even look at things and say, hey, maybe that's the right way, or maybe that is what's been wrong with what's going on in my life. Maybe I'm around the wrong motherfuckers, making the wrong choices. Because to be honest with you, if you're the smartest man in the fucking room, you're the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. You should never be the smartest man in the room. There's nothing to learn if you're the smartest man in the room.
That is truth.
You know what I'm saying?
That's truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't always be the smartest motherfucker in the room. You gotta have more. You gotta have people that's gonna either challenge you on the same level or challenge you on a different level, or see how you guys can network.
Or you just sit back and listen and retain information.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Some
that's
knowledge.
a good way.
And shit like that. But yeah, like I was saying, today is just a pure check-in. Lucky enough to have a couple of guests in the house. So we have resident Cam always behind the scenes. He's always got something to say about things and stuff.
What's good?
And it's just important, I think, for us to have a day to just check in and just, because like I said, man, last few days ain't been the greatest for your boy. So I've had to like even this morning, like sit down and shut the fuck up and really look around my surroundings and understand the people that are around me and how much I love them and how much they love me, and not be taking shit selfishly. You know what I'm saying? Because instead of it being me, how come you not paying attention? How come it feels like I'm alone in this motherfucking house when I'm not?
Man, I don't remember how long it has been about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes we buy things to make ourselves feel better, but it hasn't never been about me. Especially when you have children, your father, is so many things that comes with that. Being a responsible man that takes accountability for your actions. A lot of people don't step up to the plate.
You got to be able to be a
sometimes
you got to be that rock.
Yeah, rock. Being a rock is one thing, but at the same time, this is what I'm saying. Like you could be the rock for everybody in the motherfucking house,
right?
But where's your rock?
Sometimes it's got to be about you, though.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even when, and I'm speaking from my own experience, even when you're in a house full of love, it's not inconceivable to feel alone. You know what I'm saying? Because I can get alone in my thoughts and just shut everybody the fuck out. But then at the same time feel like, why is nobody paying attention to me? Why is it nobody seeing me and understanding? And I'm going through some shit right now, and I feel like I'm about to lose my shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm saying that sometimes, like, it has to be about you. Because at the end of the day, you can't love nobody. You can't do nothing for anybody.
Yeah.
Without, you know what I'm saying,
right.
taking care of yourself first. So,
right.
So no matter what, like, even if you're in a household full of love and all this other shit, you got to think about yourself. You got to think about yourself before you go and provide for anyone else, because it's yourself. You can't do nothing greater for anyone unless you fix yourself or do something that's greater than yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
so
true. You can't
I mean, at the end of the day,
can't hold nobody down if you can't hold yourself down.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying like be selfish. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying be selfish. I'm saying like you have to look after yourself. You have to build yourself up. You have to do the things that, you know what I'm saying, that's going to make you feel good within yourself before you can do anything for anybody.
And that goes for the same as in a relationship. If you break up, sometimes it's better to work on yourself and stay alone until you get those things in order and to be able to move on to a different relationship as well. So it's similar to what you are saying right now.
Yeah, you gotta stabilize yourself. You gotta
in a sense.
you gotta stabilize yourself. You can't hold nobody else down if you can't hold
at the end
down.
of the day, you can't have a real stable relationship if you don't love yourself.
True.
How the fuck can you love anyone or anything if you don't love yourself. If you don't love yourself first, you can't love anything.
That's
Because you are yourself. You have to deal with yourself every single day. You have to
Right.
see yourself in the mirror every single day.
Real quick,
You know
though,
what I'm saying?
real quick. Just to the people out there that are watching on Facebook, I can't see the comments. I mean, I can, but I have to keep looking down. So if you could switch over to the YouTube channel, that would be perfect. And we'd be able to see the comments and put them out there and get you involved in the conversation. But go ahead, man.
But like I said, like you can't love anyone unless you love yourself. You can't do nothing for anyone unless you do for yourself. I mean, when you don't understand that, like it sounds so like self-centered. You know what I'm saying? But it's not really self-centered if you really think about it. Like it's not. Because like at the end of the day, when you die, who's going to be there when you die? It's only going to be you.
Right. I think what I said was maybe being misinterpreted. But I get what you're saying. That's a valid. Everything you said is 100% valid. But what I'm saying is because by no stretch of the imagination do I not love me. You know what I'm saying? Let's be clear. I feel as though I'm a very confident man. I walk in confidence. I stand in confidence. And I stand on who I am 24/7. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that I don't have moments where I do feel fucking alone, because we're all vulnerable at some points in our life or sometimes in our life, and we're vulnerable to a lot of fucking things. Sometimes we're vulnerable to how someone approaches us. You know, sometimes we're vulnerable to how our significant other looks at us. We're vulnerable to that shit, and it could hurt, even without them even wanting to hurt us. It could hurt. Now, what that is, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a trained psychologist or a counselor or anything, or a therapist. But what I know is learning how to work through that and understanding what that shit means and why it feels the way that it feels. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times that shit is underlying issues with other shit, you know?
And somewhere in there, would you include maybe some kind of religious belief or some kind of something spiritual to help you boost maybe your thoughts of something to to get you out of that?
In clinical terms, they call that. Give me 1 second.
To give you hope and to at least believe in that it's going to, you know what I'm saying, to hold on to the hope.
It's called redirecting your thought, or redirecting your thought, or redirecting your behavior.
That's
so
true.
what that means is if I'm sitting here and Q and I'm upset and somehow you hurt my feelings, but I'm stuffing that shit in, and now it's ruminating in my brain, and now it's festering, and it's turning into something that it's almost uncontrollable, right?
Yeah.
So part of that is to get into the practice of redirecting your thought.
Yes.
So instead of me thinking about Q hurting my feelings, now I have to think about, or I should be thinking about, the things that Q does that makes me extremely happy and wanting to be your friend and everything else. Or I think about the good time that I had a year ago or whatever in the fuck.
That
just to
common
take my mind off of it, regroup my brain before I spiral out of control.
Yes.
You feel
Now,
me?
Yeah, so with that, like as far as religious shit, I believe in a higher power. I believe in a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not knocking anybody's religion, not knocking religion or anything like that, but I'm a firm believer in words that you speak and what the things that you profess to the universe and to the if it's your God, your Jesus, your whoever that you believe in. When you profess those things and you make those things, you put them out there to the universe and you make it happen. Because if you're going to talk about it and you really mean it, then you're going to be about it. And those things that you need to help you get to that next level or get out of that funk or do something will come. You know, I had a moment last night, and I stayed up all night
through those positions
for till 4 a.m, just sitting on the couch. Everybody's sleeping. I'm just sitting there in the dark, staring at the fucking wall, thinking crazy shit. And what I had to do again, redirect my thinking, because it's 4 a.m. Yo, I have to lay down. I got shit to do.
But
tomorrow.
what makes you think about that crazy shit?
Because there's a lot of things, and we all have it, and we all need to learn how to unpack these things. Because we all have things that have happened that have tormented us all our lives, in our past, and being young, and maybe a motherfucker got abused all of his life physically. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a motherfucker was sexually assaulted. Maybe God knows whatever in the fuck. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that I've recognized is I have abandonment issues. And so anytime I feel like somebody's going to leave, I spiral the fuck out of control. You know what I'm saying? And that could be friends, family members, it could be whatever. If I feel like they no longer want to be around me because of issues that I had with my mother, putting us in foster homes and shit like that, and her not being around doing drugs and everything else and having to be on my own, the thought of somebody leaving scares the shit out of me. And I'm a grown-ass man.
Yeah, that's great that
Sometimes-
you're able to say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because for me would be, I would feel like it's hard for me to open up or let somebody into my life.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because I come from like a divorce, and then like a lot of core issues with
Yeah.
trying to get the
All that
babies
shit can
in
be
my
traumatic.
life, and I'm staring there to 4 or 5 in the morning too, crying, praying to God, or what higher beliefs. And man, I got to get out of this.
Yeah.
Not even the best attorneys can help you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't put the most high first,
Yeah.
within yourself.
Like, and
You
Go
gotta
ahead, man.
you gotta redirect that. You gotta redirect that energy.
you don't have to hold the
sometimes.
mic, bro.
Sorry.
It's good.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. First time here. So you gotta redirect that energy sometimes. That's the only thing. Like, yo, when it comes to that, you gotta find your niche. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find what makes you happy. And then once you find what makes you happy, it kind of helps you kind of maneuver through the bullshit. Excuse me, lack of better words. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So
I gotta put in the link. So go ahead and talk. I gotta put in the link for Jizzo, and then we're gonna keep it pushing.
Cool. So like, this morning, like, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Like, I went over one of his interviews, and he said, and I quote, "Would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world, or would you rather be at peace with yourself and at war with the world?"
That's some real ass shit right
You know
there.
what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes you gotta redirect your attention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to claim your shit,
Mm-hmm.
understand your shit, find where you fall in between it, and again, the accountability.
And that's where it comes
Yes.
back to what I was saying earlier. Like, you need to love yourself. That's what that is the base of what Nipsey was saying.
Yeah. Real quick,
Brothers out there, people out there, men out there, love yourself.
make sure that mic is directed the right way so you're not talking into the back. But real quick, I put the link.
Is mine there?
I put the link inside the comments, and also Jizzo, I just emailed you the link. OT, I just emailed you the link so you guys can pop in. And anybody out there that hits that link, it's on YouTube. The link is on YouTube. It may be on Facebook. Not sure. I don't have time to deal with that right now. But
Can I carry on?
beyond that, hold on. Beyond that, if you're watching it on Facebook, switch over to YouTube so we can see you in the comments, and you can hit that link, and we're gonna give everybody
Please
a chance.
comment. I
Everybody-
want to see comments.
Yeah, everybody
Do
get
comments.
a chance to speak and be on camera. You don't have to be on camera. You can just have your microphone going. But go ahead, Cam.
But like I said, like, that just brings back to, you got to love yourself.
Right.
You got to do for yourself. You got. I'm not, like I said, like, this is not like no self-centered shit. But like, at the end of the day, if you want to be happy with somebody, if you want to have a good relationship with somebody, you have to be good within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, it's hard. It's not an easy task to do that shit. That is shit. That shit is hard, and that's with both genders, men and women. That is a hard thing to do, but you have to figure out the balance. You have to figure out how to get there. What can I do to get to that point? What can I do to get to
Yikes.
where it is
Let me fix these
okay
cameras
and
real
where,
quick.
huh?
Go ahead, keep talking. I just gotta
where
fix
it's
the cameras.
okay and where it's copacetic within self. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe it's not like some type of drama you're having with somebody that's making you feel insecure. Maybe it's not a death in your family that makes you feel a certain type of way, that makes you feel like you can't move on.
True.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you have to find that balance that makes you feel normal.
Right.
It doesn't matter about what a person thinks. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people sit back, and even myself, sit back and think about what a person thinks. It doesn't matter about what a person thinks. It doesn't matter about what a person says. It matters about it. What it matters about is what you feel internally. What you feel internally inside. How you can deal with the trauma internally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you can deal with it internally, you can be successful with any type of situation that you come across. And that's real shit. Yeah. You really can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. But sometimes it just ain't that motherfucking easy.
Right, use the battle
It's
of the mind.
It's never
you know?
easy. It's never easy.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle. Period. It's going to be an uphill battle. Period.
I apologize for the camera situation. I'm about to get that in order here, but go ahead, man.
But you know, a lot of people don't know. I coach youth football, and I tell kids all the time, man. Like, football is I compare it to life. Because in life, you're going to get hit in the mouth. In life, you're going to go through some shit that you're going to feel like you can't pick yourself up. You can't move on through. You know what I'm saying? And football is the same way. Because you're going to get fucking hit. There's going to be a dude that's going to be 6'6", 250 fucking pounds, solid muscle, running a 4.6. That's going to train wreck your ass. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to have to fucking dig deep and fucking get your ass up and go on to the next play. That is fucking life, bro.
Right, you got to get back up.
Life.
That is life.
That's life.
In life, you're going to get hit in your fucking mouth, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody, there's a saying that says everybody has a plan until you get popped in your mouth.
Until you get popped in your mouth. What are you going to do when it gets hard?
But that's
hold on, brother. What are you going to do when it gets hard? That's the main thing. What are you going to do when it gets hard? Are you going to call your pops? Are you going to call your mama? Are you going to cry? Are you going to dust your fucking self off, regroup, and do what the fuck you need to do to be successful?
Truth. Right. That's truth. That accountability. Yeah.
And that's the thing with this generation. I don't want to say like older generation. I want to say this generation, the motherfuckers that's growing up right now. Because there's a lot of fucking parents out right now, and I'm one of them parents. I'm not gonna say that I'm not. I'm one of them parents that, like, I have a lot of things going on. I might be stressed out. I give my son, my daughter, my youngest son a tablet. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, preoccupy yourself. This isn't the days of when I grew up, man, where we can have our kids run the streets and have them come home when the fucking street lights come off no more. You feel what I'm saying? Right. We can't do that shit no more.
I miss those days.
Too many weird motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? Too many weird motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's true.
O'Hara One says he's going through it, brothers. Man, well then hit that link, bro, and get up in here, man. Let's talk about it.
Feel
We
me?
got you,
Like,
man.
yo,
We're here for you, bro.
Yep,
this is why I said all comments. Please comments. Let's see what's going on, yo. If y'all
Yeah,
with it, let's be with it.
But I mean, this is the I realize that you feel good and everything right now, man. But this is like serious shit, and I get a little perturbed when people laugh because there may seriously be somebody out there watching this right now and that are listening, and then when they see somebody start to joke and be like whatever, then they go, oh, these motherfuckers ain't serious and this shit ain't real. This shit is like whatever.
Serious stuff.
So it's like I take this podcast very serious. I'm not trying to down you or anything like that, bro. It's just that like it's important that we stay on topic. It's important that we talk about these things, and it's important that we address these things without. I mean, it's cool to have humor and shit in it, but this is not the show for yo, and shout out to my homies and shout out to everybody in their good mental health because we all fucking need it. Real fucking shit.
And I want to throw this out there. And I know that there might be a lot of fathers out there that, they've have gone through court issues just to have their kids in their life. And it's been really tough in regards to maybe paying child support. And, hey, I know that sometimes, like he said, we're not like counselors or professional anything. but this is something that I've been through, you know. And the process when you are not married and you're in a relationship having baby out of wedlock, it makes it more difficult for you to have those kids if they do happen to disappear out of your life. Well, now you have to establish paternity and go through all these structured plans that the court wants for you. As a man, yeah, we do go through it. And if if we have to bring it up. This is to check in regards
That's
to
true.
the things that we go through, just to have the accountability to have our kids in our lives.
You should.
Yeah.
That's truth. Like,
Man, we have-
my son.
but I
my
wanna-
son. My son just recently turned 11.
Nice.
11, and I got I got joint custody.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying, been in his life since Ben. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He was
Supposed to be.
he was my graduation gift. You feel
Right.
me?
Yeah.
Right.
From college.
And the
So,
struggle and the
saying,
pain just
it
to
is
get
what it
there,
is.
you know?
100%.
And it feels good to be at the position where you at now, rather than you were maybe 2-3 years ago.
You feel
Because I
me?
was there. I was in such a dark place. I mean, I'm ready to go to Florida.
I mean, my story's a little,
can't.
my story's
so
a little
unsteady.
slightly different, but yeah.
My so unsteady in
Yeah.
me as a man to know that I need to step up, do something. I just couldn't let it be like that, as hard as it was.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's
Accountability.
other people going through the same thing.
Again,
Accountability.
accountability. Yeah, that's accountability.
And it's
is so
hard,
key.
man.
It's so key to a lot of things. But I want to say something real quick because I heard you gentlemen talking earlier, and it's so weird, man. It's not weird, but it's crazy how the universe works. You know what I mean? Because the universe really, or your higher power, or whatever, really only works when you pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And I heard Cam talking about his mother, and I heard you speaking on your mother, which is wild because the night I'm talking about last night, not only am I thinking of all this other shit, I'm thinking about my mother who passed away a couple of years ago. And again, starting to think like, why did you leave me? Because I really need you right now. I'm about to tear the fuck up. And it just struck me that you guys were talking about that. And because I was going through it, and I'm like, man, if my mom was here, I could talk to her and at least feel better. You know what I mean? Because I understand, and trust and believe, I understand what it is to love yourself and to carry yourself a certain way. But sometimes, man, you just need your mom, man. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
yeah.
when,
And
when
this is-
that your mom, when you lose your mom, that's your first home. You lose your mom, that's your first home.
Yeah, and then you take that into consideration with the other shit about the abandonment issue. So now I'm mad that my mom is not here. I'm mad about this. I'm mad about that. You know what I mean? And so it's hard, man. So even still, just saying that, it just shows that we all need to check in, man. We all need it. And this is why we do this show. This is exactly why we do this show. Because even myself sitting here, man, I can't help but get emotional about it because it's a real fucking feeling.
Yeah, I mean, your mom, like I was telling the homie earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like, your mom is your first love, man. Your mom is your first. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your OG and you got your triple OG. Your triple OG is your grandma.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your grandma's gonna do everything she can for you. She gonna, you know what I'm saying? She gonna give you the snacks. She gonna give you the cookies. She gonna give you the candy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She really is. She gonna do all the things.
Shout out
that
to
your-
all the grandmas out there.
all the
Spoil
grandmas
shit
out there.
of
You know what I'm
kids.
saying?
For
She
real.
gonna do all that shit for you.
I understand that
You
now
feel what I'm
that I'm a
saying?
grandfather.
Absolutely. She gonna do all that
Big
shit
facts.
for you. You know what I'm saying? But your mom is always gonna be the one that you're gonna count on. Even if you're lying, bruh, your mom is gonna have your back.
Yeah.
Even when you're wrong, your mom's gonna have your back. Your mom's gonna sit on the phone and not say nothing, let you say what you gotta have to say. You know what I'm
Real
saying? She's not gonna
talk.
judge your feelings.
Yo,
She's not gonna
that just
judge
hit
how you
home.
feel.
That just
She gonna
hit home.
have you. You know what I'm
Yo.
saying? That is what moms do. So like I told the homie, like, look, bruh, just because you lost your mom, all that shit, don't hold your hell down for that. Don't break yourself down for that. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing to hold yourself down for that at all. Like,
Facts.
that's your mom, man. That's your first love. You know what I'm
First
saying?
Love, your first home.
Your first home.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
first comfort.
You lost your womb.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
What you need to focus on is how can you feel comfortable in the situation that you're in right now. The thing is with grievance, hey, look, man, I lost my mom in 2020. Check this shit out, man. I came in with my dad in person. I ain't gonna speak on who my dad is. It's none of your fucking business. Check this shit out. I met my dad in person for the first time. My mom and my dad was not seeing eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? I broke the shit down to my mom. My mom wanted to have a relationship with my dad. Mind you, 3 months before I saw my dad, I got right with God. I'm not trying to make religion out of this, okay? I'm just telling this to the public right now. I'm not trying to make religion out of this, but I got right with God at that same time, right? I lost my mom 2 months after that. Now, was I mad? Fuck yeah, I was mad. I was upset. I didn't know how to deal with it. I was confused. I'm doing all the right things. I'm being a good dad, taking my kids to school, you know what I'm saying? Being a good boyfriend, doing everything I need to do. You know what I'm saying? So I was confused. But sometimes you're put in situations and you're put in places that you don't understand. And you can't even comprehend. But that doesn't give you the right to give up. That doesn't give you the right to fucking stop doing what you're doing. You just got to go with the flow. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet.
Yeah.
My pop says that shit all the fucking time.
Bite
Sometimes
the
you have to
bullet.
fucking bite the bullet.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go through some hardship to get to become a man or to become
Yes,
whatever the
sir.
fuck you want to
Man,
become. You know what I'm
provider,
saying?
whatever. Bite
And
that bullet.
I'm not saying that losing your mom is that lesson learned. But what I'm saying is that you can use that as motivation to get through what you get through. Because listen, brother and sister, even though this is a check-in for men, brother and sister,
Yeah.
you lose your mom. That doesn't give you that doesn't mean you have to give up. Your mom wants you to succeed. Your mom wants you to do
Facts.
every fucking
Right.
thing you possibly can to be the successful person that you think, not society. Fuck society.
Right.
Society's all games and bullshit. Man, she wants you to be the most successful person that you feel that you can be.
Yeah.
And that brings that
At the
back
end of the day.
around. And that brings that back around.
Yeah.
Would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world? Or would you be at peace with yourself?
Peace with
in
yourself.
that world with
All
the
day,
in that
man.
world
Peace
with
with
the world.
yourself.
I
You know what I'm
don't give a fuck about she. Listen,
'Cause-
I talk to my kids all the time, and I tell them all the time. You know, they'll ask me something, and I'll be like, I don't give a fuck. And that may sound like I don't give a fuck. I give a fuck, but I can't give a fuck about something that ain't got shit to do with me. I can't give a fuck about the next man and what he thinks of me because I know who I am as a person. And if a motherfucker took the time out to meet me
Yes.
or shake my fucking hand, look me in the eye and talk to me, they'll know immediately what kind of person I am. It's as it ain't hard to tell. You know what I'm saying? I'm a straight shooter. You know what I mean? And I don't hold no shit from nothing. But you know, and I also don't judge people. If I don't know you, I will not make a judgment on you because I don't know you to make judgments. You know what I'm saying? And so when motherfucker says, "Oh, you want to meet so and so," man, I don't give a fuck either way. I don't know him, so why should I give a fuck to dislike him or like him? I don't know him, so I don't even know if I'm gonna dislike him or even like him. So I don't give a fuck. Yeah, bring him on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I care? I'll care in the moment, because then I'll make my decision. If I choose to like them or dislike them. If I choose me, not anybody else. And again, I'm going to say this because this falls in line with accountability. You, and this goes to anyone, man, woman, child, teenager, young adult, you are in charge of your own behaviors. You are in charge of yourself. Nobody can make you shit. And I tell everybody in the house,
Truth.
in my home, my children, even my friends, when they say, "Yo, you make me," I don't make you shit, motherfucker. I don't make you nothing. You make you do whatever and feel whatever. I am not responsible for your behaviors, your thoughts, or anything else like that. I'm having a hard time fucking holding on to me. You know what I'm saying? The fuck I look like trying to grab your shit and hold on to your shit. I can't. It's an impossibility. I don't own Q's thoughts. I don't own Q's behaviors. I don't own Larry's shit. I don't own Cam's shit. What one fucking thing I do own is mine. Right. And no one is going to manipulate and push my buttons because I will not allow it to happen.
Whatever interaction we have is whatever interaction we have. Yeah. I can't control you
and that
or
should,
your family.
as it should be.
Yeah, but not everybody thinks that way. Let's be clear about that. Not everybody.
Yeah,
thinks
because I don't think that way. Because you know what I'm saying. Whatever action we have, it still is a point on you.
I am not.
If you hold on. If
because
you
I'm
have
not in charge of anybody's happiness.
What
I'm in charge of,
you're absolutely right.
You're in charge of
yourself.
I'm in charge of me and how I treat that person. Now, if I'm accountable and everything else, I'm not going to treat a person like shit. So when I say I don't give a fuck, or in person I'm not in charge of somebody else's shit, that just means that's true. I can't. I'm like, it's my duty to keep you I can't make you happy. Yeah. I can't make a motherfucker happy.
I'm not
saying do right. No, I'm just saying I can do right by somebody, and if they still don't like it, that's not me. I'm not in charge of that. I can be nice to Q. I can be nice to Larry. I can be nice to Cam. I can do everything right, and if that person chooses to not see me in that moment or in that place, that's on them. I've done my part. I'm not in charge of them, and they most definitely are not in charge of me. Period. If I get angry because somebody does something, I'm going to say something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say you making me mad because you didn't make me do shit. You did something, and now we need to talk about it.
You did something that made me think a certain way. But I
thought about what you did.
I choose to react.
Right? Yeah, I'm in charge of that shit. Ain't nobody in charge of that shit for me. You know, Jizzle, we have this conversation all the time. You know that shit, right? We go through it with people all the time, like on the show where people will say, "Oh, it's because of you." Now the fuck it is.
No, but we talk about it, bro. But at the same breath, we have to mention the full scope of how we talk about it. And there's two sides to it. One of the sides is the side where you tell somebody that loves you that they have no control over your feelings. And then there's the other side where you tell somebody that it's not your family member that's the same thing.
But here's the thing.
Latter, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work in the first part of it because as family members, they believe that they are in charge of our feelings, so we have to be sympathetic to that.
No, we're talking about having empathy and sympathy. Sympathy and empathy are two different things.
Very.
But what I'm saying is perception is a motherfucker. And I say this every show. You have my side of the story, you got Q's side of the story, and the truth is dead center.
That's probably one of human nature's greatest gifts and curses is human perception.
Yeah.
Because you can see the sky blue, and I can see the sky purple.
The mic, Larry. You can't. Don't grab the mic, bro.
Sorry.
Just pull it closer.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm doing that's my MC.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But yeah, that's probably our greatest gifts and our greatest curses as the human nature is human perception. You are free to look at the world how you want to look at it, how you want to perceive it. I can't tell you shit. You can't tell me shit.
Right. I'm with that ideology because
but at the same,
can't tell me shit.
But at the same time, there is a common denominator.
Right.
I do have to say that.
Go ahead.
Just to say that there is a common denominator, a basis. But I digress when I say this. Common sense isn't common these days.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Not at all.
Yeah. Fuck, man. You know, when we touch on these subjects, you know what I'm saying? Because we all, again, perception. We all see things the way we choose to see them, and you know. But at the end of the day, like I said, you got one person's story, the other person, perception of what was seen or heard, but you know, directly down the middle is the fucking truth. Now, however, Q may see something, and we be in the same fucking room, he's going to hear it slightly different than I heard it. He's gonna his perception of what happened is gonna be different than mine. I mean, how many times you seen a motherfucker get into a fight and then be like, one guy's like, yeah, but he came over and he was like da 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 da, and the other guy's like, shit, I wasn't doing nothing to that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But in the middle of that was probably
there could have been some type
Both
of
of them.
understanding. It could have been some type of understanding. It's just that people didn't choose to do it.
right.
So,
You know what I compare it to?
That's where the control of your feelings comes from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what I compare it to? I compare it to like when he says that he's 177-0 with beats by the pound. That's just his version. That's just his version of it.
Right.
We all know that number's nowhere near there.
Well, you have your perception, sir. I have mine, and the truth lies in the middle, and I'm guaranteeing you that it lies more heavily on my side than yours. just to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like I said, man, all of these things are good talking points and everything, but the truth is, we all go through a lot of different shit in life. We all go through a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of trauma, and we just, as men especially, and I was talking to Q earlier about it, as men of color, we go through a lot more shit than I think people understand and know that we deal with on a daily basis, not just within our families, but just outside the front door. As soon as we walk out the front door, the perception and thoughts about how we are as a people of color, as melanated people, and how we're being judged on a constant basis, and how we're being belittled and demeaned and even emasculated by people outside. That then we have to go home.
There's
and
a baseline.
Yeah,
there's a baseline.
We have to go home and we deal with this
agree.
stresses of the home and stresses of the kids and stresses of all these things. And why I said what I said about how I felt is because sometimes with all of those things happening, it just feels like there's nobody to talk to or nobody's listening. That's what I'm saying. So that was that was my check-in. Right. I don't know if you guys got to check in, Cam, if you got to check in, Jizzo, if you got to check in, you want to talk about, but yeah, I didn't mean to take up all of the time, but
I mean, my check-in was just that sometimes as a single man who has worked on himself and who has learned how to love himself again, it's hard for me to let my check-in would be, it's hard to let in again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could meet somebody and maybe she's doing too much of something. Maybe I don't agree. It's like you said, I can't tell a person what to do or how to change. I'm not here to save any. It's like I worked on myself so hard.
Don't stress yourself out. Don't tell nobody you can change.
Don't stress yourself. Sometimes I let the wrong people win or just to stress the whole thing again. And not be able to get what I want out of a good relationship or with the right person,
right.
In a sense. Maybe I don't want to have a girlfriend who clubs or who drinks a lot.
Facts.
Or maybe smokes something that I don't, or just has a lot of male friends. Or,
your preferences.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really hard to let in.
Right.
To start a new relationship again after being single as a single man.
Come on, Q. There's more to it than that because I get it. Like you're single, and mind you, remember I said that there's going to be challenges in that. You know what I'm saying? When you make a statement or say something, there's going to be challenges. Yeah, we all go through those kinds of things. I mean, I tell people all the time when they talk, it's like the shit's not exclusive to you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to get down on you or anything like that. But you're not exclusive to that. But the real issue is not so much of do you want a girl who parties or anything like that. If you peel back another layer of it, what it is whatever happened before hurt the fuck out of you. And now your wall is like, I ain't trying to go through none of this shit again. And that's like the bigger picture,
right?
Because we're adaptable. We're fucking.
I need to hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to get back in there, and it's so difficult. It's hard for me sometimes to understand it. Yeah. I don't have nobody to talk to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I do got brothers, but sometimes it's not the same.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
But yeah,
this is great. This is great.
Thank you, man, and thank you for being here. But that's what it is, man. Like when we start to peel back the layers of the onion, man, we start figuring out more shit about ourselves, more things that we can improve on every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell everyone in my house, I wake up every day to be better than I was yesterday. Yesterday was a fucked up day for me. But before my foot touched the ground, I already told myself today is going to be better. No matter what the fuck happens, I am going to do my best, put my best foot forward better than it was yesterday. And it's important to do that every day, I think.
Be
You know what I'm saying?
productive.
Not just productive, but just mentally. Just say, today, what bothered me yesterday, I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna take it in. I'm gonna check it for what it really is, and I'm moving forward.
Right.
Everything else is in the rearview mirror, and I ain't got time, space, or energy to look in the rearview mirror and constantly judge and constantly be on some other shit. I gotta move forward. I gotta move with what's happening today, and today I gotta be better than yesterday.
Yes.
Today I gotta be better than yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Your camera's out. Your camera's
That
out.
is truth.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. We're just gonna go without a camera. I don't feel like dealing with all that shit, and we at 45 minutes anyways. But yeah, but I'm just saying, like, so if you're watching and you don't see us and you see some maniac driving in a car, man, no, that's my co-host, and we're still live.
He's
It became my show. It became my show.
We're still here, man. But yeah, it's important, like, to try. And I hate saying try. Everybody in the house knows, like, when you say try or maybe
Backdoor words.
to me, you have to speak every day in definites, because definites are going to help you to be accountable. And accountability is a lot of what all this shit is. So if I say to you, yeah, or you ask me, you say, can you come by tomorrow? And I say, maybe. Maybe is my back door out, because if I don't show up, guess what? I can say, hey, man, I never told you I was coming.
I said maybe.
Yeah, I said maybe.
Maybe.
Or I'm going to try to. Are you really going to try? Because you wake up in the morning and you go, fuck, I don't feel like going to see this motherfucker. Fuck it. I ain't got to call her because I never told the motherfucker I was coming. I said, try. Nobody wants to. I know I don't. Tell me if you can or can't, so I can know how to maneuver accordingly.
you know?
So if I know how to maneuver accordingly, I know not to call your ass next time and tell you or invite you, because you're not
are OG.
you know what I'm saying? I can't depend on you. So it's important for us to speak in definites every day without using backdoor words, because it's going to help you, especially if you're very mindful of it. And I tell my kids this all the time. Like, if you start stopping yourself from saying try and maybe and I'll think about it and things like that, you'll realize, and things will start changing in how you carry yourself and how you interact with people and how you deal with things, because now you have eliminated shit. Now you're accountable, because guess what, Q? If I said come over tomorrow and you said maybe, the first thing out of my mouth is I ain't trying to hear that shit. Either you are or you're not.
Right.
Truth.
And if you say no, you ain't gonna hurt my fucking feelings. Just you ain't coming.
Right.
Okay?
Just tell me straight. Tell me straight up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't give me no bullshit. But at the same time, if you tell me yes, now you know, because I told you. Don't give me the bullshit. Just give me what it is.
Right.
So now you know, if you don't show up, I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Right.
Now I know how to maneuver with Q, because maybe Q is not dependable. Maybe Q does not get the phone call from me next time and saying, hey, man, if I reach out to you, not saying this is how you are.
No, I understand
but I know better than to call you next time. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, all of this shit really kind of boils down to accountability. But also, too, with all of that being said, like, we all go through a lot of shit. We all have a lot of trauma. We all, and it's really key, I think, to start to, even for self. Like, when I'm talking to you, and of course, like I said, there's always going to be some pushback or something, especially if I hear something, or anybody else, they need to speak up. But if you say, well, maybe she does drugs, maybe not, the truth of it is that Q's been through something in the relationship that hurt the fuck out of him, and the things, because I've been listening to you when you talked about the courts and the lawyers and everything, all that shit to you. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a counselor or nothing, but that shit was traumatic for you.
I think it's so. And it's traumatic to a lot of men who suffer
facts.
through it in silence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, big
And
facts.
now it's like me, I have a chance to talk about it now after 7 years, after going through so much of pain. But now I'm at a better place within myself.
But your guard is still up, because you just said,
but We'll work on that.
Yeah.
You
That's
know
all
what
you
I'm saying?
can
So,
do. That's
all
all
we
you can do, bro.
But this
To
is
me-
just an example on how things are. You know, not
Yeah.
only with myself,
yeah.
but
100%.
with other people who go
Yeah.
through this. You know,
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
You realize what
and that would be
what
my
you was
check-in.
Right.
You realize
My
you
man.
realize the whale that you were dealing with, and now you're dealing with it.
Oh yeah, and I've taken the responsibility and I concluded that it's time to move on and you know, just be happy within myself to find the right person in the
Or-
future. You know what
or
I'm saying?
Maybe you just don't need to find
Right
anybody.
now, right? Or
You know what I'm
right?
saying?
Or there's a big or in there.
I told my oldest son
Absolutely.
he fought in the UFC for a hot ass minute, and he had to quit because of he was susceptible to concussions, and he was like, you know, in a lost place. He didn't know what he was going to do and this and that. And I said, man, maybe the universe, whatever, didn't put you here to be fighting. Maybe your thing is coaching. You know what I'm saying? Now, all options aren't closed. All doors are not shut. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're just thinking about the wrong way. And my grandson now is like one of the best basketball players under the age of 14 or something in the nation.
Wow.
And he started coaching him. He stopped doing the MMA and everything and devoted the time to my grandson 24/7 to start coaching him in basketball. And now this kid is like top ranked in the fucking nation, you know, because sometimes our journey isn't what we think it is, man. I thought I was going to be and was successful in music and traveled the world and everything, but I thought that was it. And it turns out that this is it.
Shit, I thought I was gonna go in the NFL.
See?
The way I was fucking training and shit, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And motherfuckers that know me, man, they wouldn't tell you anything different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, you know, I ain't trying to put religion and all this, you know what I'm saying? This is not a religious segment, but sometimes God got a different plan for you.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
sir.
my
You know
point.
what I'm
Yes,
saying? Like
yes.
sometimes he got a different plan for you. And what got me, a lot of people know me as Coach Cam. You know what I'm saying? And what got me was, I'm not gonna go to the NFL. I broke my foot, and me being a man and the definition of man and how I hold my own principles and my own morals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna take care of my kids first before I fucking chase my dream. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? My dream was to go pro, but I had my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So I chose to take my daughter, but I realized chasing my dream, I can still chase my dream by saving these kids, man.
Facts.
Yes.
Saving these kids and telling these kids that youth sports can give you a different way out.
Redirection.
Yes,
Redirection. You know, hey, man, I'm from California, man. I'm from the West Coast, but, man, I live out here in Chicago, and I'm going to tell you right now, like, all these kids in Chicago, they don't understand that there is a different way. You don't have to pick up a gun. You don't have to gangbang. You don't have to be just like your older brother, man. You could do something different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And communities out here don't speak out to the youth and say, hey, we got youth football. Hey, yo, we got youth baseball. You don't have to tote them guns. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it, coach. Talk about it, coach.
Talking church, coach.
Like real shit.
Church.
You don't got to do all that, bruh. There's a different way. There's a different way of getting out of Chicago. Let me tell you what it is, man. Getting an education. Doing something better and different than anybody in your family has ever done before. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Books.
And that's what made me redirect my shit, man. Fuck going to the NFL, man. I'm trying to save these motherfucking kids, man.
Talk your shit, Cam.
I'm trying to save these fucking kids, man.
Talk
Because
your
these
shit,
kids
coach.
is our future at the end
Talk
of the
your
day.
shit, coach. See, now
And
I
here's
want
the
to
thing.
piggyback off you right quick. That right there is a perfect example of because if you don't hear the passion within his voice, you're insane. Like you got a fucking problem. If you don't hear the authenticity of what he's saying, and this is coming from a person whose feelings and everything were destroyed for not going to the pros, but he found something bigger than himself. He found something that gives him purpose. He found something that he really truly is passionate about. He gives a fuck about these kids. I've seen him in action. He gives a fuck about these kids, 100%. And some of us find validation in all types of different shit. And part of that, I believe, is part of his validation for who he is as a person, as a man, as a young man. And part of that validation is helping other kids. You know what I'm saying? We all have to learn, and I just said that to say we all, as men, we have to learn how to talk about these things and to recognize these fucking things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I had to let Cam go do it. Cam has been on some stuff. Like, he even had to redirect your homie real quick for a second because, again, I did what I did. Sometimes the direction that you're trying to head in, you have to redirect it to make it come full circle.
Right.
And not only to fulfill the void that you're missing, but to fulfill the things that needs to come.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more to life than just you.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's bigger than you.
Yeah, it's got
bigger than you.
Purpose.
Here's the thing. Everyone says you have a purpose, bro. Everyone says you have a fucking purpose. What the fuck is your purpose? Why the fuck are you here? That's the question that we ask ourselves every fucking day of our lives. We ask ourselves that every day of our, even as men. My nigga, I feel like men ask themselves that all the fucking time.
Every day.
What the fuck is my goddamn purpose? Why am I here? Should I be with her? Should I stick it out for her and the kids? Or do I need to fucking get the fuck on and do what the fuck I need to do to sacrifice for my children? These are things that we fucking go through every motherfucking day. What the fuck is your purpose? You know what I'm saying? Just because you didn't make it big stream as a rapper, just because you didn't make it as the NFL running back, doesn't mean your fucking journey is over.
Facts.
You can pass that shit to someone else. That is why I'm fucking here
Gotta
in
find your
Chicago,
lane.
my nigga. Fuck
gotta
all the
find your
bullshit.
lane. Find
Fuck
your
all the
lane.
bullshit. Yeah, I'm gonna fix myself. I'm gonna do my motherfucking shit. But I'm here to fix other niggas because I have a gift that I can share with other fucking people. People are too self-centered. I tell motherfuckers all the time, motherfuckers are sheep. They think about themselves. They're over here in the narrow.
me.
They're over here in what society's purpose is, man. Fuck society's purpose. Nigga, what the fuck is your purpose? Do what the fuck your purpose is, man. Stop fucking worrying about another motherfucker, what another motherfucker thinks about. Because that's never gonna do you any motherfucking justice. And I don't care. Look, this might not be the fucking podcast to cuss, but listen, brothers and sisters and brothers, you need to hear this shit. Figure out your fucking purpose, man.
Big facts. And you know what? That is the very reason why we fucking do this show. This is the very reason why the whole shit came together. Shout out to my boy, my brother at arms, Jizzo, man. Because the show used to be called the Sunday Sit Down with the OGs. And I thought this was going to be a great show. It's going to be some OGs. We're going to sit around and talk, and we're going to bridge the gap with the young hip-hop motherfuckers, and we're going to fix it. And I had a fucked up ass day. We had already been going through the show, and Jizzo had come along as a co-host. And at the time, he was doing it remotely like he is now, but he was doing it every day, like every Sunday remotely. So before the show, I tell him and my other coach, shout out to OT. He was trying to get in, he couldn't get in. He's out in Cali, and I before the show,
What's
we're
up,
talking.
OT?
We're
Shout
talking
out to
before-
OT, man.
Yeah, big shout out to Big OT.
OT.
The
Peace,
motherfucking
OT.
drill
Shout out to
sergeant.
that brother OT, man. Real talk.
Yeah, and I said, man, I got to tell y'all, man, I need to I legitimately said I need to check in, man. I'm having a fucked up day. My mind ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just the shit is just bad, and it spilled over into the show.
Right.
So it ended up being a big show. Like, people were chiming in, people were saying all kinds of things. And when I woke up the next morning, I was like, oh shit, that's it. It's the check-in. We need a place for motherfuckers to come in and talk and to get shit out. And because after that show, I felt much better having people to listen and also give me feedback on what I was thinking and what I was saying, and to help me and guide me along that
Absolutely.
fucked up train of thought and shit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And so that very next Sunday, Jizzo and I was here. Jizzo actually came in to do the show, and we said, "Fuck that! It's no longer called the check. I mean, the Sunday sit down with the OGs. This shit is the check-in." And from that point on, it's like giving me like an extreme amount of purpose. Like Cam was saying, Coach Cam. Shout out to Coach Cam. Don't ever worry about cursing on this show, bro. But it gave purpose to what I was thinking and how I felt about shit anyways. So this shit ain't new to me because I feel like this about people all the time. I'm an empath. I care about how people feel. I care about these types of things, and I most definitely care about myself. And I needed a place where I felt safe to talk and talk to my counterparts, my peers, my friends, people I don't know, and give them my version, my shit, my stuff. Be transparent. Jizzo's done the same thing. Shout out to my brother Jizzo. Shout out to Cam.
Hey
Shout
man,
out to you
I think, brother, man, I feel like there's a bit of a delay when I start talking, so I don't mean to cut y'all off. But I think at the same time, brother, that like we realized that the show was literally helping us week after week, and it was whether it was
that's the
heat
big
detector
thing,
checking in or whether it was OT checking in. We just started realizing like, fuck, man, this is really helping all of us. And I think the main point is that if you want to help other people, you got to try to be right within yourself. And so I think that's what we're doing here. We're building each other up week after week, topic after topic, and just building on life, man. And dude, if people like E. Johnson that have been watching since the beginning, y'all know, man, we've been talking about every spectrum: jealousy, relationships, divorce, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the fuck it is. We've covered a lot of ground in these last couple months.
and held ourselves accountable.
Absolutely.
I've held
And been transparent, bro, because that's another thing. People get to
If you've been watching the show, you've seen us be transparent on the show, and it's like we're here, man, and we're talking about our real life shit. Get in on the conversation, talk about life, man. Let's work it out.
yeah, because we're actually here for motherfuckers. Like we really
these
believe in
topics
that.
are fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh
These
yeah.
are not comfortable topics. Like motherfuckers don't want to talk about this shit.
Right.
But here's the thing.
It's a necessity.
Here's the thing, though. Hey, ding, 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 motherfucker. You need to talk about this shit because you're not gonna be able to move on or do anything with yourself if you don't get over the bullshit that you're going through, especially as men.
Be careful when you say the word bullshit because one
Hey,
man's trash is
bullshit,
another man's
bullshit,
kingdom. No,
that's
I'm just saying.
Okay, look,
when we talk about this shit,
I will
when we talk about this shit,
elaborate.
hear
I
me
will
out.
elaborate.
Hold on, and I have to make this clear for people that are watching and listening. We must be mindful of how we say shit because one man's trash is another man's kingdom. Well, you may be able to walk through what that man walked through in his shoes, and he, or you may not be able to, but he may get in your shoes and glide through your shit.
Absolutely.
So don't be careful.
When
Don't,
I mean my
try not
bullshit.
to,
I mean my
say shit
bullshit.
like
I
that.
mean by like being discredited. I mean by feeling like there's not there like you're this big. I mean ant size. I mean like feeling
Cam
like
talk-
that there's
He talking about empathy.
you know
gotta
what I'm
have that
saying?
empathy.
Like you ain't got nothing. There's nothing that you're less than anything greater.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I said earlier. Like finding your purpose.
Sometimes,
I know finding your purpose is hard. Absolutely.
no, but I didn't even say that. But what I was gonna say is,
I
that-
thought you was, but
Yeah.
I just want to say like finding your purpose is hard as fuck.
yeah, of course it is because
Especially
it's
as
never,
a man when you're going through that shit. Like when you as a man, like I'm gonna say this for the old school motherfuckers, man. I was born in '94, so I feel like with the old school purpose, I lived in that generation. You take care of your woman, you do your thing. So that is the purpose of being a man in that generation and back on. You know what I'm saying? And so like now it's different. Women are on a whole different spectrum than they were before.
Yeah, I
you
agree.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're on a whole different spectrum than they were before. You know what I'm saying? Now it's more of like an even spectrum. If you think about it, in society wise, when I'm talking about irrespective, I'm talking about money. Hey, what do they say since older folks and younger folks? Money's the root of what? All motherfucking evil. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's true.
Do you understand what the fuck I'm saying?
Sure is.
I'm not speaking, hey, look, bro, I'm not speaking no fucking educational terms, motherfucker. I'm speaking language terms for you niggas out there. Like, this is what it is. Money is the root of all evil. What is the difference of the money, the root is all evil? What is the difference of that? Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it sex-wise, right? And sex-wise right now, in our society, who's making more money? Is it men or is it women?
It's gonna.
It's evened out now.
No, it's not even.
No,
It's not even.
It's
out.
It's not even out though.
even
It's
out.
not
it
even
could
out.
be some ladies
No,
make money. Than
no,
some
it's not
over
even
some
out
Men-
now.
men
That's what I'm saying.
historically,
Because you
even to
stuck
this
in the
day,
old. You stuck
make
in the
more
old
money.
school
Make more money.
generation. You stuck in the old school generation.
No, just
Oh, no,
the way that.
Hold on, check me out.
Whoa.
Hold on, check
Take
me
it down
out.
a notch. Take it down a notch.
Check
It's
me
not
out.
an argument
I know.
about who's
Check me
right or
out.
who's
That's what
wrong.
I'm saying. Check me out. Check me out. Check me out. Check
wait,
me
wait.
out. So look.
Let him talk. Can I go after him?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So look. So professional jobs. We talking about professional jobs, right? Doctors, lawyers. Right. Who is the number one gender that is in those type of positions?
Men.
Men.
No, women.
But you better check the math, bro.
No, and I'm talking about today's society.
Okay,
It's
well,
women.
okay. Let me just break this down real quick. Okay, historically and even to this day,
Historically.
women are making more money than men. We're not talking. Let's be clear. We're not. Let's keep this out of these ranges of talk, because unless you come with numbers, what you're saying doesn't make sense. But historically speaking, men make more money. To this day, men still make a higher percentage, if we're talking salaries and shit, than women. If we're talking regular, everyday, blue-collar jobs, men are still going to make more money than women. That is a fact. That's just a harsh fact. And it's not the percentage. Maybe from back in the day is not the same. You know, men were making more money, and the percentage of women that weren't making money is way down here. It's way lower. It's like, you know, it might have been fucking 80-20.
Okay.
20 on the women's side.
Okay, here we
But
go.
now,
the gender gap in pay has remained relatively stable in the U.S. over the past 20 years. In
Right.
2022, women earned an average of 82% of what men have earned, according to Pew Research Center analysis in medium hourly
When I say the
wages
percentage, bro, I
of
see-
both.
I
So
mean,
that just goes and
it's
shows
slightly-
that
there's a
women
difference.
already earns
Yeah.
82% of more earnings than men do.
I don't know where you get
That
that
is a
information.
fact. That I just looked this shit. I just
Okay,
typed it up
calm
on
down,
Google.
calm down. Check it out.
Yo.
There's no fucking way right now on this planet that women in the United States, 82%, I think you may have read that wrong, that...
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think your
No.
perception-
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, OG, real quick. Now, to be honest, due to fact to
They made... No.
No,
See,
wait.
he read it wrong.
Affirmative
They earned-
action. It's
Got you.
affirmative action.
Sure, but listen, affirmative
Affirmative
action is a
action.
whole nother fucking
That's-
conversation.
It's affirmative action.
No.
Women have affirmative action.
Okay,
these
listen.
days.
It says women earned an average of 82% of what men make. That means it's not level. It means they're
100%.
making 82% of what men make. There's still a fucking 18% that they're
From the
not
100.
making.
No,
Of the 100%.
Yeah.
That's
Now-
exactly what it fucking says.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
read
saying.
it wrong, Cam. Sorry.
No. So both of you are right.
Yeah.
Both of you are right because you know why? It's because of choice.
Whatever.
Women, no.
This
women,
ain't- but this is
no,
not the
it-
con-
it-
this is
it's
the
because of
conversation,
choice.
and who gives a fuck about that?
It's because of choice. Women are not going to go into sanitation jobs.
That's bullshit. They do it
I
all
mean-
the time.
I mean, but that's where affirmative action comes from. A lot of them aren't going to, but if they do, they are definitely going to get the job because
D Nick's in the
they're
building.
a woman.
Hold on. We got D Nick in the building. Shout out to the Misfits.
Shout out
D
to
Nick in the
D-Nick.
building.
D Nick, my nigga, what's good, man? How you
What's
doing?
up? What's up?
Yo.
Peace.
Blessings.
I know you've been sitting back yelling at the goddamn screen. But like, well, you can't see us on camera. My camera went dead right now, so we're just
Right,
gonna
right,
go
right.
with the flow and just have the audio going.
We
but,
can see you.
That's
though.
all good.
All I'm saying, hey,
Okay,
D
wait,
Nick,
whoa.
Wait,
Let
wait,
him
wait.
finish his point.
I just want to finish this point real quick.
Okay.
Yo, gentlemen. So really, both of you guys are right. It is true. Women do earn a certain amount or a certain percentage. But if they go into a job that most women won't go into, they're going to get it and get that fucking shit, that bag. That's all I'm saying. So basically what I'm saying is, if you got a woman that's going in to sewer work, sanitation work, and she's the minority, of course she's going to get the job and get more than likely the same amount of pay a man will get. Okay.
She's equal to get that.
This shit is.
hold on.
Well,
That's
but-
not. Hold on.
man-
Wait. Before you go, D Nick, that's not. I feel like we lost topic of what we're trying to say. I said that in the sense of like that's why men are dealing with what they're dealing with right now because they're put in
because
different
the
type of
possibility-
positions.
Right. It's,
You know
it's
what
the
I'm saying?
possibility. It's the possibility.
Because
women
back-
have the possibility of working the same jobs that men will work these days.
Yeah, because now men are going into the custom of doing the same things that women were doing back
True.
in
That's
the
true,
older
too.
days.
That is very true.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
very true, too.
there's a lot of men. There's a lot of men out there now, and maybe it's a generation disconnect.
Yes.
Maybe it is a generation
It
disconnect.
is.
But there's a lot of men out there now that sit at home. They cook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta stay at
they
home.
go to
You gotta
work.
stay at home,
They
Dad.
take the
And all
kids to
that
school.
shit.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, and you know I don't give a fuck, man. I was that nigga. I was him. I went to work every fucking day. I worked 40 hours a fucking week. I cooked fucking food. I made sure the house was fucking clean. I took my kids to fucking school, and my motherfucking girl worked every day, like a man would. And I'm not gonna say that I made more money than her. I didn't. I was a carpenter too. I'm not saying I fucking had a bad fucking job. I didn't have a bad fucking job. I made good money, but she was a nurse. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that shit is different now.
Yes.
Shit is not the same.
And it's
like
because
the
of
positions that
opportunity.
men were
It's
in back in the
only
day.
difference between the OGs and us is that women have the opportunity to do what they want to do.
They're killing me right now.
Let's go with D Nick. See what he has
Yeah,
to say.
D-Nick,
if he
go
got-
ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Because there's a lot of I can't speak on what was misinformation and what isn't. Here's the problem. There is a big lack of context and distinctiveness. Like the problem comes when you use general blanket terms like women, men, and minorities or people of color, because it's all horse shit. We're not the same. We're very distinct. For example, culturally, in the black community, that means American descendants of slaves, we have always worked, and our women have always worked. Our cultural issues are totally different from any other group. Not to be compared, not to be in the oppression Olympics. We're just talking about being distinct. So when you say women make more, and I think I said in the comments, is like, that's different. If you look in the American descendants of slavery, I'm talking very specific. In the black community, in the hood, the most educated are the women. The most employed are the women. Okay.
Absolutely.
I can't speak for Latinos or American immigrants, because the most degreed, and if you talk about black people on a general blanket term, Nigerian men are the most degreed, and if they're to be included in the black community, but they're not in the ADOS community. You know what I'm saying? So and a lot of times the reason that this context is important is because a lot of time it's been taken and used to spin narratives.
You know what I'm saying? So like
I agree.
weaponized, exactly.
I agree.
So we gotta be careful, and we also gotta be careful about our point of views. There's a very big difference between get your ass in the kitchen and cook versus get out of my kitchen, motherfucker. I'm trying to cook. You know, those are you know, that's a you know, those are very distinctively different.
Yeah.
My grandmother
Would you like to elaborate for the people that don't understand?
That's some good shit.
if you don't
Elaborate for the
understand, you
people
don't
that
deserve to
understand.
know. You're not a part of my culture, so you don't deserve to know. I'm not trying to influence it on anybody. But I just you know, you have to get context. There is a difference between get your ass in the kitchen and cook. You know, I just got off work, I'm hungry, versus get the fuck out of my kitchen, I'm cooking, and you hungry and you don't know what the fuck you doing. That's a totally different spin on the thing. You know what I'm saying? And depending who's saying it is you know, that counts for a lot. And we lack context clues, and we allow certain narratives, and we allow people within our own communities, whatever cultural community you got, you're a part of, we allow people to get jealous and manipulate you. We allow people to do that. That's when, you know, when you, and I'm only talking stereotypically, if you talk about like the white girl that like the white girl that likes the you know, they like some, I've heard this from you know, people, white girls will be like, oh, I like dating black dudes because I don't feel, they don't treat me like I'm beneath them. You know what I'm saying? Because he physically knows that you're in a protected class, so you're not beneath him. You can never be, you know. And so anytime he tries to manhandle you, for lack of a better term, you know, that's just fetish shit. You know what I'm saying? So then you're good. You know what I'm saying? But it's a difference. Like you know, the problem is we just allow certain things to just lack context. Some people, we get jealous. We have, you know, people get jealous of like, oh, I don't have to, I got an equal partner. But I'm jealous of the broad that gets to, you know, that gets to just be a trophy wife. And the trophy wife is jealous of the broad that has to work every day. Because the woman that has to work every day isn't a trophy. You know, she's working and she gets played with. Trophies look shiny, they're beautiful, they go on shelves, but you don't play with a trophy. It collects dust.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. That's deep.
You know, so if the toy gets played with, and sometimes when you play with a toy, it gets broken. And then that has a problem. And you're like, I don't want to get broken. And you got to fix the toy. Or you got to go buy a new one. This motherfucker don't know how to play with his toys. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, he just puts me on a pedestal. That sucks. That sucks for a dude. Don't nobody want to be put on a pedestal. Don't give me no motherfucking flowers and anything. What the fuck are you giving me flowers for? That's for the dead. I'm the living. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's all perspective. Everything is perspective, and you heal yourself when you change your perspective, and that's practice. That's easier said than done, but that's practice.
Yes,
You gotta
sir.
work. You gotta work.
All day.
Thank you. There you go.
That's
He said the right shit. Sorry.
No, you good.
I'm sorry. You said the right shit. You got to work. You got to create that value, because at the same time, you not going to break a motherfucking... You're not going to break a toy that's worth $20,000.
That's not true. There's some people out there that just don't.
Some
give a fuck.
people, I mean, but that's the thing. You got to recognize the value. Some people will break it, yeah. Others won't if they recognize the value.
And if they break it on accident, people make mistakes. You gotta shoot them some grace, man. You playing with your toys. You putting work to use, whatever. And that's a metaphor for whatever it is.
Right.
But you don't want a trophy. Trophies just sit and collect dust and look pretty.
No,
That
right.
makes sense.
No wear and tear at all.
That I agree with.
Well, shout out to D-Nick, because he brings it. I don't mean to cut you, but just real quick, just so to context to what he's saying. D-Nick has been a part of the show for a hot ass minute, man. We love him over here, because a lot of times we say things, you know, we say it in different languages. Sometimes we say, when I say languages, I mean I may say something, and it comes across a certain way, but you know, D-Nick has a lot of $5 words, because he's a licensed counselor.
Very
So he
knowledgeable
brings
brother.
that aspect to the table. And sometimes I'll say something or somebody else will say something and then he'll put it and he'll contextualize it. Does that make sense, D-Nick?
No, absolutely.
Generalize.
Yeah, no, not generalize. That's a different.
Okay.
Contextualize. He puts context into what's being said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I might say something and it'll be like, it may sound totally
Kinda
off the fucking rails.
emphasizes more into what
Yeah. It may to some,
emphasis.
And more detail.
to some people, how I say something may come across as brash or whatever, and they may not exactly get the message because some people only know $2-3 words or 50-cent words, and some people understand and know the $5 words, as my good friend D Nick says. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's just contextualizing it. That's all. That's all.
And I'm
I'd
a
say,
defender. I'm a defender of context, man. I'm a really big defender of context. It's like a passion of mine. You know, I had to defend a kid. I'm counseling. You know, someone was. I had to defend really him and his situation. The kid was. You know, the kid is like he was getting in trouble. He's falling asleep in class, but he falls asleep in class because he's staying up all night trying to make sure that his grandma don't like eat sweets because she's a diabetic and his mom has died from diabetes. And somebody said like, well, that's not his job. You know, like trying to like kind of position his grandma like that's not fair on him. It's like, yo, it's not his job until it is.
Right.
Fuck you mean it's not his job?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
Like that's the grandma. Like that's a privilege. That's a privileged thing to say. Now, for that woman, that's a grandmother. I don't know how old the woman is, but that's a grandmother, like who's still grieving the loss of her daughter. It's only been 2 years, grieving the loss of her daughter. You know what I'm saying? And her daughter died from the same thing that she got, but she got to take care of her grandchild. And he has living with the fear that, man, I could lose my grandma the same way I lost my mama, and I'm still grieving my mama. I don't want her to get, you know, and like, in respect to both of them in that family. But, you know, it's easy to be like, that's not his job. He shouldn't be like, yo, man, it's not his job until it is.
Nobody
You know what I'm
pointed it
saying?
to him. It's a part of it.
And that's why I say it comes about the point of choice at sometimes because you can't go like out of respect. Oh geez, listen to me real quick. What you guys are saying is true. It's not their job until it has to be their job. But they have to realize like, yo, this is my job. Like literally, I have to do this. Sometimes people don't understand that. Sometimes people don't realize that until it's too late. That's what I'm saying. So you guys are very right, and I love that. Like, this is great. This is great, yo. Like, yo, you have to realize the position you are in. You have to know your worth.
With that being said, like a lot of times positions, like I had positions like that. My mother was a drug addict for a lot of fucking years, a heroin addict. I've seen her on her deathbed. I've seen her OD. I've seen, you know, I've walked in with my mom hanging herself. Okay, that job didn't become my job because I made a choice. That job became my job because I was scared to death and my mom was hanging and I had to do what I had to do to do that. That wasn't a choice that I said, let me just see if I'm going to save this woman. You know what I'm saying? Some things in life are put in front of you and you just deal with them or you don't deal with them. You know what I mean? But what I mean by that,
I disagree. I disagree.
No, I was just gonna
Hold on. You're not giving yourself enough credit, brother. That is a choice. It's a hard and fucked up choice, but that is a choice. And you made the righteous choice to do the righteous thing. You're not giving yourself credit with that. You did make a choice. You could have froze.
Right.
You didn't freeze. You did not freeze. You fought. You know what I'm saying? You made the choice you could have did a number of things, but you made the choice. You made the choice to do the righteous thing. We don't give ourselves enough credit when credit is due. It is always a choice, and even if it's a fucked up scenario.
You gotta realize your worth.
Real quick.
Realize your worth.
Yeah, I got you. But real quick, D-Nick, thank you, man, because I don't think I've ever heard that in my life, and that really hit home, bro. Like some real shit. Because I struggle with that too as well. You know what I mean? And I've never had anybody say that to me, ever. And that really hit home, and it really, now it's invoking a whole lot of other thought.
Yes.
And a whole lot of other things, you know.
You did the right thing, and
no, I
you
mean,
give
like,
yourself the credit for it.
it took like shit. With my mother, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of shit, and that was just one occasion. Like, there was another occasion.
Right.
I'm not trying to throw shit out there, but real quick, like, just to, like, contextualize it again. When I moved to California, my mother was on drugs, and we were on the top of this building, and I legitimately caught her from jumping off of the building. Yeah. And she swore she was never gonna do this shit again and everything else, and that shit fucked me up. And then and to walk in on her again with that fucked me up. And for you to say to me, you didn't give yourself enough credit, really fucking hit, because I never thought of it that way. I thought like, well, this is my fucking mom. I never thought of it like making a choice. I never thought of it like, I thought I didn't have a choice. I thought like a lot of different fucking shit, but I never thought to even give myself any credit, and not the kind of credit that's like, oh,
Right.
great fucking job, George, pat you on the back or pat myself on the back. I just didn't even think of it at all, and never ever in my life.
Can I
You know?
say
Because
I'm so
because
sorry.
it goes-
Wait, real
Oh,
quick.
sorry,
I'm
go.
so sorry, big bro. Real quick.
no, you good.
The only reason why I'm saying this is because, I made a post about this a couple of days ago. As a man, you have to. I mean, I'm not gonna sexualize this, but I'm being real. As a man, you have to handle business. Nobody cares how you have to handle it. Just handle it. Don't kill yourself over people who don't understand the business.
Okay.
I respectfully disagree.
Go
You
ahead,
don't
D.
have to handle business. You know what I'm saying? And
I
there
mean,
there are scenarios where
You're right.
where
You're
people
right.
do care about the way that you handle business. You know, like that's the thing. Like all of this stuff, we don't know how much control and power we have in the situation. You making the reaction and like, man, I didn't know. The reason you didn't realize it was a choice is because it's muscle memory. Your mother took care of you.
Oh shit.
You know, to take care of her when she's in her darkest time. That is something that she instilled in. I done met a lot of custies that raise kids to be great. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, you know, it don't devalue them just because they was a fucking custy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like all of that stuff comes into. We don't know. It's muscle memory. It's muscle memory. When you're a boxer and you're training to be a boxer, you're learning as many combinations as you can possibly have to react when it comes. You're learning softball. You're learning all of it. And then when you get in the ring and it's fight or flight, you know, you're just practicing. It's all muscle memory of like, okay, when he zigs, I gotta zag, all of that type of stuff. That's all it is. You just develop the muscle memory, the emotional muscle memory as you keep going on. Ain't nobody perfect. We ain't all. I'm not perfect. I'm, you know, like I'm clean. I'm not better than nobody just because I'm certified and understanding this stuff. But I do understand this stuff because I practice it. You know what I'm saying? I know that everybody got a choice. I'm not relieving anybody or excusing anybody of their choices and not devalue them for the choices they make, you know, or didn't make. It just is what it is. So you know, like values are totally, you know, some people will, I get clowned a lot. It was like, man, it's always semantics, but you know, it's not semantics. It's like, I'm talking directly because people try to fuck you over with weird words. People try to, that's why I like to zigzag between $5 words and $2 words and all that stuff, because people try to zigzag and manipulate it. Nah, brother, you got a choice. And the other thing you're talking about as a man, we got to do that. That's your value as a human being and your worth as a human being. That's a totally different context. You have a choice always.
Right.
Always.
Big facts. That's crazy. I say that shit all the time. I tell my kids, you always have a fucking choice, good, bad, or indifferent. You always have a choice. But again, like I said, that hit me because, again, it was, I don't know if it like brought to my attention or anything, but it was never thought of in that respect. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it legitimately like fucking just like punched me right in the motherfucking dick right now. Like I was just like, yo, that shit wild. Like I had to like really, as you were saying it, taking it in and going, God damn, hold the fucking phone, man. And it just immediately it invoked a tremendous amount of feeling about that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we all know Muslim sisters, right? We all know
Yeah.
Muslim sisters, right? Depending on how that Muslim sister feels about her situation when she's in her durka or her hijabi, it is usually one or two. It's either, yo, you're being oppressed. Why are you covered? Or, yo, I'm guarding my modesty. I want to guard my modesty. Everything is like context and perspective is important, man. And it's
Yeah.
like, how do you spin the narrative? Don't nobody look at them like they oppressed. If you know the Muslim community, don't nobody look at them sisters like they oppressed and like they're demeaned and they can't, like, why you gotta do this? Why you gotta do that? Don't nobody question that, because they walk firm in that, like, nah, I'm guarding my modesty. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
But
Now you spin the context on it. You know what I'm saying? You know, and everything is perspective, and it is context.
Yeah. We were
You
talking
know?
about that earlier.
That's our
Perception.
greatest gift.
Perception is a motherfucker. And it's definitely a motherfucker for people that don't understand it or lack or choose not to understand perception. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Crazy, right?
yes, it's really crazy.
Man.
But thanks a lot, man, to putting all of that in perspective, man.
Yeah.
It was, I mean,
Big facts.
I kind of felt that in regards to, what brother he detected was saying, and when you put that in perspective, his reaction towards, your words, how you beautifully put them together for him,
Yeah.
It was a great interaction that maybe now he understands a little more of himself,
Oh, for sure.
and
It is
that's what we
definitely
here for,
something
man.
I'm gonna think about. It's definitely something that I'm not gonna ponder on it in a fucked up way or anything like that.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. Don't.
No. I'm saying. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
It was great.
Because that's how it hit me. You know what I mean? And so my moving forward in that thought process is going to actually invoke other ways in how I interact and do things. It's like even with my own children or my wife or friends or whatever, and really, and as I say some things all the time, I say, I had to cut off a lot of people, and one of my friends like, well, why don't you talk to me anymore, bro? You don't even fucking call me. And I said, because you don't bring shit to the table. All you do is take. And I can't be around somebody because I know what I bring to the table. I know I bring my friendship, and if I bring my friendship, that's something very heavy. I don't take that lightly.
Right.
And so if you're not at least bringing that much to the table with the amount of respect and boundaries and shit, then I do not need to be around you, period.
Respectfully.
And, you got to go. Now I know how to deal with you. I deal with you from arm's length. Sure, you can still call me and everything, but I doubt very seriously I'll be inviting you to fucking, saying the barbecue or anything like that, because it's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
The refrigerator is closed.
The refrigerator is closed and locked until further notice, unless you show me something different, because I believe people change. You know what I'm saying? But you got to show me something different, because I can't be the person giving. And not saying I want anything. I don't want anything monetary from anybody. I don't need shit from nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I do desire human connection. I do desire friendship. I do desire having healthy relationships with people.
That network.
You know what I'm saying? And then if that can't happen, then by all means, I got to go. You can't be around me, and I can't be around you. Period. Point blank. Man, if you bring something to the table and you start to understand that, we can slowly bring you in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe have the refrigerator open for about an hour a day. You know what I'm saying? And then lock that bitch back up. You know what I mean?
You gotta have some groceries. You can't just open the fridge and take. You gotta bring some groceries, player.
You gotta bring something to the table, man. I mean, everybody has value. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not diminishing anyone's value or anything, but I know what's important to me.
Yeah.
And what you had said to me, D-Nick, is now important to me. Like, I didn't think of those things before, and so now I have to be mindful within myself and how I move forward with that thought. because even that thought in itself can be dangerous for me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make
Yeah.
sense, D?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it totally.
Preaching to the choir, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I try to really, I don't try, but I look at things introspectively, and I work really hard on being mindful of other people, but most importantly, being mindful of myself, especially since we've been doing the check-in. And like I told Jizzo, and he was alluding to right before you came on, is that this show has helped us by doing the show to be accountable on how we act with people, how we interact with people, and how we carry ourselves outside of the show. At least it has helped me tremendously. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very mindful of how I speak and how I do things, especially nowadays, and even moving forward every fucking day. It's the same thing. I got to get up. I got to put my best foot forward and be better than yesterday.
It's important to keep those facts in mind,
Yeah.
And it's my first time in the show, and it showed me by being here a lot of things too, and how to look at things differently in regards to what I'm going through as well. Sometimes we lock ourselves in this depression mode, and we gotta think of other ways to or have somebody to tell us from the outside in how they see it, and how it is, point blank.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Facts, man. Shit. Another
appreciate you
another
guys.
motherfucking show that I'm walking away from this motherfucker again, on some God damn it, D Nick. Nah, I love you over here, bro, man. I appreciate the
y'all,
shit
man.
out of you, man. All the time, bro. And I appreciate you guys for being here, man. And sorry about the camera and everything. We're gonna get it straight, man. I'm gonna get this new streaming service, not making any excuses, because I gotta get up off my ass and really learn it. So it is what it is, and we're gonna, next Sunday we're gonna be back, and we're gonna be better, and the camera won't go dead. Pretty simple. You know what I'm saying?
Work in progress.
It is what it is. But shout out to you, D, man. I appreciate you a lot, my brother.
Oh, no doubt, brother.
It is.
Y'all got me working. Y'all got me working on my day off.
Come on, man. You see that every time, bro. Because hey, listen, I'm beginning to think you need this too, bro. I'm beginning to think you need a little, check in too.
It's always reciprocal.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I honestly love you for that, brother. For real, man. But we're going to have to end this right quick. We're in an hour and a half. We got no camera going. You know what I'm saying?
Man, love D Nick always, man. Peace and blessings to you and the crew.
Man, blessings,
Keep teaching them
Ivy.
kids, man. Keep teaching them youth.
Hey, D Nick, thank you so much for indulging with me in conversation. I really do appreciate it. I am Larry the Lyrical, lots of lay. So
That's what's up, man. No, man, it's dope. I'm always down for dialogue over debate. Dialogue is, debate is about sport, who's right or wrong, and
Right.
dialogue is about sharing of information. There is no agree to disagree in dialogue, and dialogue is just understanding. And debate is agree to disagree. There's winners and losers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what you guys do. Shout out to y'all, man. You, Heat, and Jizzo, and everybody, that y'all put on this and, have coming together with this stuff is dope,
I
man.
am so honored to be here. This is my first time being here after 2.5 years after losing my mama. So I appreciate and I am so humble to be here. Thank you.
Man, we appreciate you being here, man, and sharing.
Condolences, yeah.
Yeah.
Condolences.
With that being said, man, we're gonna call it one. D Nick, man, I'm gonna call you, man. I keep saying that all the time, and then the next day I'll be forgetting, man. But I'm going to call you
We'll talk
tomorrow
soon,
evening.
man.
You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody that's been here. Shout out to you, D Nick, man. We love you over here at the check-in. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys for
peace
being
and
here
blessings,
tonight,
man.
man. And we're gonna call it one, man. Once again, I'm gonna say to you people
Thanks,
out there.
Jizzo.
Why? Actually, before we go, because we do this usually every fucking show. So we're going to go around the room. D-Nick, go ahead. Last words, last statement, last whatever.
Oh, man,
And then
just
you-
loving life and, just compassion, context, nuance, and data. That's me. And that's what everybody should go. Compassion, context, nuance, and data.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys so much for the opportunity, the content, and just the platform. Like, yo, this is literally what I've been working for. And again, coming back after a while to literally plant a flag and solidify some stuff. Thank you.
Man, thank you for being here, bro.
Isaac Q, man, thanks for the honor. It's a pleasure being here. I would say patience. I would say keep reaching, teaching the youth, keep reaching, teaching the facts about things, man, and just patience, man. Just keep having patience. The time is a time for everything, and we're here. It's not by choice. We're here because we supposed to. This is what we supposed to be doing.
I feel that. I really do feel that. And I'm going to end this by saying just a couple of things. I'm going to keep it short. A lot of times I get long-winded. But I think to end this show by saying, be mindful of self before you're mindful of somebody else. Be mindful of self. When you get out of that bed, before your foot touches the ground, tell yourself that you're going to be a better person than you were yesterday. Don't try, just do it. Be better than you were yesterday. Be a better version of what you were yesterday. And understand that you cannot change what happened yesterday. And you cannot do anything about the future. The only thing that you can do anything about is how you do it in this moment.
Right.
On that very next day, if God willing that you wake up and you're breathing before your foot hits the fucking floor, tell yourself and do yourself a favor and be a better version of yourself that day. Because that's all you can do. That's really, truly all you can do. I mean, there's a lot of shit you can do, but just to keep it real simple, that's all you can do is just be a better version of yourself. And with that being said, man, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you guys, man. I love you guys for being here, man. D-Nick, you already know, man.
One time.
You know what I'm saying? We up out of this bitch, man.
Peace.
Peace and blessings. Now, if I can just get the shit to end, we might, all right, I got you. All right, D.
Peace.
Peace.
Now if I can get over here and end.